rest of they ass got popped like pimples. I'm something strong like Hennessy. Boy, you's a bitch, you a Shirley Temple. Why would I give you a blick that's like you taking a ball and you can't even dribble? I got hoes 3 times my age trying to take me down and I'm so little. When I take this bag from off my back, I ain't pulling out no pencil. If you was wondering, yes, I made the beat, baby Chief went west again. I'm trying to turn it up a notch, let me fuck you in your bestest friend. I think sleep is for the weak, been up about 7 days in. I'm back in the rack when to take your hoe to the lyrical lemonade stand. It's not many that can't fuck with me, and y'all know I ain't lying. She say they not fucking and they just friends. You know I ain't bad. If the hoe around and she ain't get fucked, that's cause I'm not trying to. On beat, bad bitches love me like these niggas love dick riding. I ain't got no age, I'm timeless. I spit bars, I can say fuck rhyming. She said she never been with a boss. She got bougie pussy, it counts. This my roster, I'm kicking her off. I'm Santa, treating these hoes like elf. If I need advice from a real nigga, I just go talk to myself. Baby chef do it. That boy cook shit like crock pots. When you walk in the kitchen, you feel the heat. I'm telling you, it get hot. You gon' get shot. I'm the type to put a ring on the thot. She doing a cha-cha. I don't wanna dance, little baby, I need that mata.
Yep, Charlemagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots podcast, back for another week of brilliant idiotness. Hezekiah Walker.
Hello.
You said coffee don't do nothing for you no more. You should try cocaine.
I'm trying so hard to not do that.
You can't do it like you used to, man, because they got that fucking fentanyl, you know what I'm saying?
Rihanna,
that Rihanna baby powder and that motherfucker, that Rihanna makeup fucking people up, man.
Man, you gotta be careful.
We're just kidding, kids. Don't do cocaine. Don't ever do
Seriously,
cocaine.
don't do it.
No, seriously, I've never done cocaine. I've done it by accident and a blunt back in the day.
Oh, really? You smoked it?
I didn't mean to, but you know, I was in
Just had the best high.
Somebody passed it around and I hit it. Now that I know what it is, I'm like, oh shit. And plus that high that night was incredible.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it crack or coke that was sprinkled on it?
No, it was coke. It was they used to do the weed and then put the coke on top of the weed. Yeah, man. Don't try that at home, kids. Please don't.
Yeah, don't, man. Stick to Adderall and the other stuff that you prescribed by
your prescription shit.
Middle school, yeah.
That was why somebody said that the other day. They was talking about how kids. You say what?
Don't do those either.
They're already on it.
Yeah, but
well, it depends what you're doing it for.
Do it.
To get into Harvard. Do it to get into Harvard, even though you won't be able to because it's all foreign students.
You know what we didn't talk about last week? We didn't talk about where we went on vacation, man.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I was just sitting up here all nice and tanned and
same.
You know what I mean? No, we didn't tell them nothing. Where'd you go?
I went to Ibiza.
Okay.
It was lovely. Had a great time in Ibiza. Grown man time, grown up time. I didn't really party. I think I'm done with the parties. We did talk a little bit about it.
That's actually what I wanted to speak about. We talked on it briefly. Every day, we would wake up 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, which is late for me because I'm used to waking up
with the kids.
No, they still be asleep.
That's right.
Yeah, so 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, we would wake up, and we would just be, we wake up, probably work out or something, and then like all day we would just be on the beautiful beaches of Anguilla, drinking, having a good time. We would have dinner at like 7 o'clock, 7:30 every night. By 9 o'clock, 9:30, 10 at the latest, everybody was in bed sleep. Yeah. And I'm just like,
the dream.
At one point, I was like, yo, we are really fucking adults. We not going out nowhere.
No,
we don't want to stay up late just for the sake of being up. Part of a good vacation is getting that 8 to 9 hours.
8 to 9 hours, but day drinking. Ooh. So you get your drunk on, you get fun during the day, but you recover by the time you go to sleep. You're hydrated, so you don't wake up hungover. If I drink at night, I'm hungover.
And then when I'm on the beach, I'm not even drinking like, I guess it is alcohol, but I'm drinking rum.
And you also
I'm drinking is
you're
rum.
Drinking fruity bullshit. You're not actually getting after
BBCs.
it.
Oh, I love BBCs.
Oh, why are you gay?
Y'all don't know what the BBC is?
You are gay.
It's banana, Bailey, and coconut with a rum topper.
I hate topper.
The fuck wrong with y'all, man?
Yeah, that's a topper.
What y'all think of BBC
What else
going on? What y'all think of BBC was? The whole moral of the story is get your 8-9 hours of sleep on vacation is part of it, man. I have officially reached a point in my life, too, where I am literally AWACS in Minister Society.
Talk to me.
If you've ever seen Minister Society, MCH, salute to MCH, he hosts the Gangster Chronicle podcast with my man Steele on the Black Effect iHeart Radio Podcast Network. He played a character called AWACS in Minister Society. And he was a guy who did so much dirt on the come up that he got to a certain age where he didn't even really have to do the dirt anymore. His reputation was solidified, but he used to watch everybody else do dirt. And that's how I feel now. Because the phone calls I get about Andrew Schultz. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, who did he shoot now? Okay, who the fuck got hit now? Okay, but the funny thing is, what am I supposed to do?
What'd you get? Yeah, this week was fun.
Yeah,
This week was fun. This week was fun. It was.
It is so funny, bro. The news, they just went crazy, bro. The White House responding.
Fire though.
But that's kind of
Fire.
What do you? I
The
have
White
my
House
own
did what
theories
Kendrick
about that.
didn't.
What,
The White-
exactly.
Kendrick was
didn't
like,
want that
I'm good. Kendrick was like, I'm good. The White House was like, no.
gotta address this.
But you know why?
I know why, but go on.
Because Flagrant is such a huge podcast. Trump came on Flagrant and had a fantastic interview. I told you there's plenty of people that, said to me, hey, that Flagrant interview is going to get Trump elected. So it don't matter what the CNNs or the MSNBCs got to say about Trump. That's the audience he cares about. Because at the end of the day, the heart of Trump is not a politician. It's a fucking entertainer.
He's listening.
So if the entertainers are shitting on me, no. Can you imagine that?
Bro.
Forget all the journalists.
This is the thing, because he's already set up the system where you don't have to trust the journalists, and the journalists have done a great job of not being trustworthy.
trusted. Yeah.
It's very simple, but this is the thing that you got to realize is you have to hold him accountable to his promises. So I know there's tons of people who just want to say, I told you so, and they want to say you got duped and all this other stuff. You can say whatever you want. You're totally fair to say it. I don't give a fuck. The point is, if he makes promises that I want him to execute, that I think that a lot of other people want him to execute, i.e. revealing something about this Epstein case where 1,000 girls were victimized, and then he tries to act like he's just sweeping under the rug. I know how transactional he is with the media.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold him to it, and I'm going to voice my displeasure. And what you will see, I believe, in the next week is that they're going to try to reveal something and then try to appease the public a little bit more because they realize it's not a story that they can sweep
Well,
under
he's
the
already setting it up. He's already setting it up by saying things like, the Epstein files are a hoax. They were created by Barack Obama and the Biden administration.
He can say whatever he wants.
President, I know you want to move past all this intrigue over the Epstein files, but I do want to ask you to clarify something you said this morning. You said this was all a hoax. Has your attorney general told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen
It's
of
not
that?
the Attorney General, no. I know it's a hoax. It's started by Democrats. It's been run by the Democrats for 4 years. You had Christopher Wray and these characters and Comey before him. And it's a bad group. It started, actually, look at the Steele dossier that turned out to be a total hoax. The 51 agents, the so-called intelligence agents, it was a hoax. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats. And some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work. The Democrats are good for nothing other than these hoaxes. They're bad for policy. They're bad for picking candidates that can get elected. Like in New York, we have a communist running. He may get elected too, actually, but he'll destroy the city. It's I call it the Epstein hoax. Takes a lot of time and effort. Instead of talking about the great achievements, we've had a great gentleman yesterday, as you know, went on CNBC and he made the statement that Trump may go down as the greatest president of all in the United States. And instead of talking about the things we've achieved, we've had tremendous achievement. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. I'd rather talk about the success we have with the economy, the best we've
You can't hide from this, man. None of y'all can hide from this. The truth will come. The truth. I ain't gonna lie. At this point, it's gonna be hard for us to get the truth. They destroyed so much evidence. But I do want to say we need to be going to the authorities, the investigators themselves. I will be trying to get an email set up where we can find out the truth of the investigators who've been investigating this freaking Epstein case. And the funny part is, we're going to do some interviews. I think that's our next point. We need to locally find some people and get some answers.
Never had
I'm working on the chat.
all of the things we've done, including in the Middle East. I mean, you see it. Instead, they want to talk about the Epstein hooks. And the sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
Like, so when
He can say whatever he wants, but
Maybe we can ask Trump some questions.
we're not going to let our foot off the gas because
Nah, that's wishful thinking.
it's something very important, right? Like,
if I was Democrats, I would never let my foot off the gas because this is your thing that allows you to connect with the MAGA base. Let's be clear. Ever since Donald Trump won, all of these different Democrats have been trying to find ways to connect with the MAGA base.
Not
To try-
really.
look, they've been trying to
sorry,
they've
let
been
me
trying
tell
to
you
find ways to connect with people outside of their bubble, right? That's why Gavin Newsom do that corny ass podcast where he sits with the other side but doesn't really challenge them on anything, right? With this right here, there's one thing that connects a lot of Americans. If you ask me what the base of the MAGA movement is, this is my personal opinion. I think it's conspiracy and I think it's white supremacy, right?
Okay.
So you can connect on the conspiracy part because if you want that base to listen to you, then you got to talk about things that they care about.
could I add a caveat to
Yes.
that? What if you said mistrust or distrust of government institutions and elites?
I think, yeah, I think that's part of it. And I think that when you have a person like Trump who said he was going to drain the swamp and he was calling out the government and calling out the elites, but now you look just like the governments and
You
just
look
like
like
the
you're
elites.
doing the same thing.
Yo, we said it on the pod last week. The worst part about being in those positions, eventually you become just like the people, right? So eventually those people that you voted for that you thought was going to be different ended up being exactly the same. Now, there's a lot of places we can go with this conversation, right? People will say things like,
But wait, I don't want to move too far away because you said a great point.
Okay.
The smart Democrats, ever since the loss in the election,
Yes.
have been trying to find a way to build a coalition
With MAGA.
and earn back some of the votes that they lost to Trump. They're not really trying to convince MAGA. MAGA's going to Trump no matter what. Some of them are doing the mental gymnastics to try to like justify what Trump is doing. Like there's a
when I
class.
say MAGA, I just mean people who voted for Trump.
Got it. But like you have to kind of parcel it
That's
because
true.
there's a lot of people who are disillusioned with the Democrats
That's
and their
true.
offerings and the fact that they ran a dead guy for 4 years and nobody said anything about
He
it.
talks about that. All of this, go. We're going to
Right, and we'll get to it. But like, so I think what the smart Democrats are doing, I mean, like Mark Cuban hit me up immediately. He was like, that's great. The Pod Take America guys hit me up and they're like, this is good that they're holding them accountable. But what you've also noticed is while there's the Trump grifters, there's also the anti-Trump grifters. And they don't care about the midterms. They don't care about the next election. All they care about is
being right
and
and continuing to get engagement.
engagement, clicks,
Yes.
views, the same thing that the Trump grifters are doing. And it's very selfish, right? You're masquerading as these people fighting for democracy. All you do is fighting for your own views. You're pathetic. Shut the fuck up. So what they're doing right now is this, like, I told you so shit. Instead of realizing, oh shit, this is a moment where like Trump's base is feeling like he lied to them and feeling like he's not going to deliver on a promise. Why don't we offer them something and bring them back home? By back home, I mean all the people that were lifelong
But
Democrats.
that's because the Democratic Party is still in shambles. And it doesn't matter if the Republicans fumble or Trump fumbles because they don't have the team to properly recover the ball. If I'm a Democrat, right, and I'm not talking about one of these elite Democrats that have been around
Chuck
for a
Schumer,
long
Nancy
time. No.
Pelosi.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the Ro Connor's of the world.
Yes.
I'm talking about
Bernie
the
Sanders.
The AOC. Bernie's a little older. Like even though he is a leader,
But he's
all
the
I'm simply-
tentpole of that side of the party.
Yes.
Yeah.
But all I'm simply saying is don't ever stop talking about the Epstein issue. Why?
Ever.
Because it's the only issue that has ever made the people who voted for Trump be like, that's fucked up.
Yes.
It hasn't been deportation.
No.
It hasn't been, it wasn't Doge. right?
They don't care.
In little ways.
They
little
pretend to
ways.
care. It's not even the budget. He said he was going to drop the deficit or whatever the fuck it is, and now he's bumping it up $4 trillion or $3 trillion. They don't care.
None of that made way. And it pisses me off to watch all of these Democrats be on CNN, be on MSNBC and say, why do they care about this? Why do they care about the Epstein thing? This isn't things that are...
Charlamagne, you said that shit perfectly. Why do they care about? I said, my God, man, this shit make you wanna throw up, man. Everyone's a pawn. Everyone. I can't even. It just makes me mad thinking about it.
Affecting their everyday life. Shut the fuck up and learn how to fucking play politics. This is your transgenders in sports moment.
There you go. Oh, hold it.
This is your transgender in sports moment. They never let that shit go. Everybody, Chris, what did you used to say all the time about the transgender in sports?
Not a real issue.
Why do people care about this? Not a real
issue.
issue. Why do people care about this?
Shut the fuck up and learn how to play politics. I would never stop talking about the Epstein issue because it's the only thing that connects you to the MAGA base, and it's what they actually care about.
And if you think it's a nothing burger, then exposing it is nothing.
Yes.
If you think there's no
That's right.
conspiracy or anything like
That's
that,
right.
then just expose it
That's
because
right.
there's no conspiracy. But if
That's right.
you think there's no conspiracy and you're for not releasing it, now I've got some questions about your intentions.
I'm never stop talking about the Epstein files. Number one, it's a major cover-up.
I love
Okay.
seeing the bipartisan support for uncovering it. It actually gives me some faith in humanity that there are people that aren't playing politics and they're just like, hey, there's 1,000 underage girls that have been victimized. Maybe they should get a little justice. That'd be kind of cool. And there are these seemingly elites and government institutions and banks who might be able to get away with breaking the law all the fucking time. And just maybe in our lifetime, just maybe they get a little justice. I don't see why all Americans wouldn't want that.
I asked some people in the Democratic Party, how come when Biden was in office, they didn't really pursue the Epstein thing? And they told me it's because they don't really dwell in conspiracy. Okay, fine. Well, guess what? It's not a conspiracy anymore. It's an obvious cover-up. So can you constantly bring up the obvious cover-up?
He's a registered sex offender that got a sweetheart deal. Ghislaine is in jail for 20 years for child sex trafficking. So there's no conspiracy. The conspiracy is
no
if the
conspiracy.
government was the one that was organizing the blackmail ring, or if he was a government asset of the United States.
I've been hearing that too, though.
Etc.
Yeah.
So like these are the conspiracies are the governments making him do these things, or was he doing this thing already and the government was using it as an asset to get access to these different people? Maybe they're using it to ship guns around the world. They're using it to hide money. Who the fuck knows exactly what they do? But we know that governments engage in individual people to do nefarious acts that cannot reflect back on the government. We know that this is happening for years. This is just how it works.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, I guess you could go the conspiracy, but let's not act like this is nothing.
Yes, the conspiracy is Pam Bondi told us that the Epstein list was on her desk. Now they're saying it doesn't exist. But now they're saying it does exist, but it was written by Biden and the Obamas
Get outta here
and
with this
Comey.
shit.
It's an obvious cover-up. My point is, Democrats, don't ever stop talking about it.
But it is.
By the way, Republicans still haven't stopped talking. They still haven't stopped talking about the trans and sports issue. Right now.
To this day.
To this day.
But what is interesting is like, and I get, so I'm on the pod and I'm just like, you know, the things that he's doing right now, very specifically, I'm talking about the Epstein cover up. I'm talking about ending foreign wars,
That's obviously crazy now.
increasing the budget. Like these are these specific things that
I haven't seen nobody give a fuck about none of that shit like they do Epstein.
But here's the thing. I was like, these are not the things that I voted for. And then the initial reaction was like, this is exactly what you voted for. I'm like, no, that's exact. If I wanted to vote for those things, I would have voted for Kamala. That's what she was going to stand for. She wasn't going to release the Epstein stuff. We were going to continue foreign wars, and we were going to get the budget increase. Those are all the things that the Democrats would have done, and they ran on doing. And we know that that was going to happen because that is the status quo.
Trump told you he was going to stop the wars. Trump said they were going to release the Epstein
Well, that was impossible.
files. He said it on Fox.
Now that was obviously a lie because, nigga, they're all in the freaking Epstein files. I keep telling you that.
Yeah.
Friends.
Yeah.
He said that they were going to decrease the deficit.
Yeah.
He actually
He could do that with tariffs, so that's still up in the air.
created this organization called Doge to do it. Here's the thing that I'm telling you.
Can I just ask you
Okay.
what in this case? So, given my position, right?
Yes.
Like, and I'm not some fucking right-wing cult or left-wing fucking cult. I'm a free American. I'll say whatever the fuck I want, and I'll hold people accountable, especially while they're in power. I think that's when you should hold them accountable the most. What there's a lot of people that were like, there's this massive media story and like, you fucking should have known and all this stuff. You got duped. Fair. I got duped. Fair. If he doesn't do any of those things he said he did, you can say, fair, I got duped. What is the alternative? The alternative is just voting for the other side that's going to do those things and runs on doing those things that I say not to.
Let's stay here for a minute because this is the conversation.
The system is Apparently broken.
We had off air. There's nothing
Not
wrong with saying
working no more. Too much prick pro quos, too much big business is in politics.
you got. But guess what? That's what politicians' job is to do.
To get you.
To get you. They go out there and they tell you everything that you want to hear in order to get you to vote for them. I said it last week on the podcast, and I've been saying it for years. Donald Trump is the best at telling everybody
what they want to hear.
Exactly what it is they want to hear. Now, but people will say, well, and this is the example I'll give. And I saw this on the Daily Show, and I thought it was hilarious. They showed Donald Trump talking about the flooding in Texas.
Yeah.
And he was like, we've maxed out on Texas. We're going to give Texas everything, whatever they need. They got it. If you're on the right, you're on Texas, you hear that, you're like, yeah, that's my guy. Then they show him talking about the wildfires in California. He was like, I don't think they should get nothing.
The Trump that you're just experiencing now, to your deep disappointment and dismay, is the dude we've been dealing with the whole time. You just didn't realize it because he's been nice to you. Like when you've had a terrible tragedy.
My administration's doing everything in its power to help Texas.
We gave them all the money, all the help that they can possibly use. We've given them we've maxed out, and we'll continue to max out.
Whatever you need, Daddy's here. Because you're the child he wanted. But we're Eric. And this truly just a weird cheap shot. This is how we get treated.
I don't think we should give California anything.
I mean, if I give California money, then every state that didn't vote for me will think I'm their president too.
Right? So if you're on the left, you're like, that motherfucker's fucked up.
If on the right, you're like,
so depending on what you're tuned into the most. If you're watching MSNBC, CNN, you're going to see one thing. If you're watching Fox, you're going to see another thing. My stupid ass watches it all.
So
and
you
being
see
that I
it all.
watch it all, I see it all, and I see exactly what he's doing, and I see exactly why it works. Now, here's the conversation nobody wants to have. Democrats, you do the same exact thing.
Uh-oh, careful.
No.
Charlemagne, careful. This might be a national news story that the
I don't give a fuck.
the White House responds to.
But I don't give a
You're
fuck.
holding Democrats accountable. God forbid.
Democrats, not only did they do it, you got, right? Y'all got.
Right.
And you believed the stuff that was coming out of his mouth. Democrats knew they was bullshitting us with Joe Biden. Nobody wants to talk about the buyer's remorse.
How so?
By running him for more than one term. They knew he was too motherfucking. Jake Tapper just wrote a whole book about it called The Original Sin, where he talks about all of these people in the Democratic Party who covered up on purpose.
Yo, this is fucking insane.
Hold on.
Come on, Chris.
Hold on 1 second. Let him make
I'm bringing it all around, right? Democrats did all of this shit for 3-4 motherfucking years, lying about President Biden, right? It's because of that lie that we're in this position.
Elizabeth Warren is still lying to this day about it.
Because if Democrats would have did one thing, if they would have did what you did,
hold the people that you vote for in power accountable.
and say we got.
But instead, you're quiet, you fall in line, and then you fuck yourself in the long run.
Yes.
And then you put out a book like Jake Tapper, or you were saying also Corinne
Jean-Pierre, his
she
press
was
secretary.
literally the press
Corinne
secretary.
Jean-Pierre is an independent now.
She's like, I can no longer support the Democratic Party. Okay, so you did it for 4 years. You lied on behalf of them for 4 years. You covered up the fact that you've seen out for 4 years. You put the Democratic Party, not only you, but you were accountable for the lack of a candidate that they had to run and the lack of opportunity for them to actually build a campaign for someone that America actually likes. This is what I'm saying. You can criticize me all you want.
One more thing to that.
Yes, go.
America told both parties, this is not what we wanted.
Yeah, say that louder.
Democrats and Republicans both said, we do not want a Trump-Biden rematch. I remember being on The View, and I said, both candidates suck. Go look at the statistics. Go look at what people are saying. Nobody wants this, right? And I said, the first person who replaces their candidate with somebody fresh and new is going to win. The problem with the Democrats, they did it way too late.
And it wasn't fresh and new.
It wasn't fresh and new. And I love the VP, but they did it too late.
Yep.
And it wasn't fresh and new. I saw Ro Khanna say something on Flagrant where he talked about, when you look at a Trump, or you look at a Vance, or you look at a Mondani, right? Trump has been in office 5 years. Vance has been in office 5 years. They're still looked at as relatively fresh and new.
One of the reasons Trump and Vance won, look at how many years collectively they've been in elective office. Trump, like 5, and Vance has been like 5 years. Now you look at the amount of years that Biden and Harris were collectively in elective office. And the reality is the longer you stay in, people think, okay, I got to just say everything to keep my position. Mondani didn't think he was going to win that campaign starting out. He just was like, okay, I'm going to have fun with it.
Mondani didn't even think he was going to win. So he's coming up with all these fresh, new ideas. If you give people the status quo, they will rebel. They'll expect it and rebel against it.
Because they're unhappy with the status quo.
Nobody wants to admit we're in this situation because people just simply did not listen to America.
And furthermore, I just want to point out that, like, if there were Democrats that broke free and said that that Biden was actually senile, they were met with intense criticism. Right? Intense criticism, right? They're called all sorts of like horrible things, etc. But that is the cost for honesty and the cost for success. So who knows? Maybe saying, hey, Trump, you're fucking, you ran on this thing and now you're shying away from it. Maybe that leads to them actually releasing some more stuff about the Epstein files. And if that does, it's a great example of how you hold the people in power accountable. If they did that with Biden, immediately, if all those people that covered it up, if all the people that were afraid of speaking up because they were worried they were going to get shunned, or they were afraid that Republicans would use it against them, they would say, you ran that guy that was senile, and now the second you win, you say that he's senile. That's fucked up. The exact same thing that happened to me. Like, you're going to deal with scrutiny, but it is the right, honest thing to do if that's what you care, if you actually care about what's happening in the country.
Yeah. And listen, man, there's things. Here's the thing about a campaign. A campaign is just that, a campaign. I'm going to go on the campaign trail and I'm going to say every single thing I need to say to get people behind me. Yo, I love the VP, but you can't go on the View and say you're not going to do nothing different
when people are
than
upset
President
with
Biden.
what's happened now.
When he's got the lowest approval rating ever.
You got to tell people shit that you can't even do. I mean, look, shout out Mondani, but he's like, we're going to raise taxes. It's not even in his power to raise taxes. You got to go to Albany, that shit. But
Trump,
he's saying something that's going to help, that people feel that is going to help them. And maybe he executes it. That's potentially possible.
They made it easy for Trump to finesse people. And it's okay to say you got. Chris, am I bugging here?
I didn't get got.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that voted for him, Chris.
He's been a con man for 50. He's been a con man for 50 years.
I've heard this. I've heard this argument too. Listen, I've heard this argument.
I don't want to play the "I told you so" game. It's not helpful in the moment.
It feels good, yeah, but it's not.
All right, but I'm not doing it.
You can say it, but not,
I don't know.
But
I don't know what's going to happen. I can't
That's
say
the thing.
I told you so.
I don't subscribe to this idea that nothing happens. I think Trump is so transactional with his base that if his base shows that they want something enough, it will come out. Like we have seen this. It's very rare that he'll
Epstein filing coming up.
Well, I think in my estimation, within the next week or two, we get more revealed from. They're going to find a what's it called?
Redacted?
No, they're going to find like a patsy. They're going to find someone that they can place some blame on.
But at this point, who's going to believe anything that comes out at this point? Nobody's going to believe it.
It will never be enough, but I think that he has no choice but to reveal more here. I think if he continued, like they said, they're going to send $10 billion to the Ukraine or whatever. The base is going to find out about this shit and continue to hear about this, and they're going to revolt.
They just gave Elon another $2 billion for
the AI project.
The AI project.
I'm not upset at that. I'm more upset at the foreign wars. Like I want the wars done. I'm tired of seeing fucking Gaza turn into fucking rubble. Well, 2 years into this thing, there's just tens of thousands of people fucking dead. And here's the reality.
To that point too. They didn't. This is where Biden and Harris messed up.
They fucked up. They didn't say they would stop it. They ran on continuing it. So all these people that are virtue signaling and all these people are patting themselves on the back. It's like, yeah, you voted for the people that are going to continue to fund and murder those fucking innocent people in Gaza. I don't think it's that hard an idea to vote for the person who said they're going to stop it.
Why do you think Michigan rebelled against Kamala like that? Like Dearborn.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm also saying, like, it's going to sound like I told you so. But if Jared Kushner is your son-in-law, You know he's fucking giving Israel everything
What's
they
the
want.
alternative,
I'm
Chris?
talking about, Chris, you're right. All I'm
I would have picked the alternative I picked.
No. I know you would have, but like,
Right.
what is the alternative? To cast your vote for the people who are telling you to your face they're going to continue funding the mass murder of tens of thousands of people?
are taking a chance on the person who's telling you they're gonna stop it. I
I'm
didn't
ta-
vote.
I'm
I
ta-
didn't vote for Trump, but I can tell
I'm
you.
taking
I
a
can tell
chance.
you why he won.
I'm taking the chance over the people that are telling me to my face we're going to keep funding this shit. Like, I'm sorry, that's kind of weigh on your
this is
heart
why-
a little bit,
this,
dude.
This is why Dems are not.
I don't think it was that black and white, but
This,
okay.
this is why Dems are
Of
not.
course you wouldn't, because you voted for the people that said they're going to keep doing it, and you don't want to realize that's a reality.
Chris, this is why Dems aren't going to win any future elections, because you're still too emotional about it. Everybody got to take a step back and deal with strategy,
I hear what you're saying.
so you can see why Trump won.
Yeah, sure.
That's all I'm saying. So these guys, so the people that got,
Chris,
I
if
can understand how they
if
got
a
got.
Democrat comes out in this next election and they're like, you know what, Trump didn't stop those foreign wars, but one of the first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop to the funding for Israel bombing Gaza, blah, blah. God forbid we're still into that thing. Do they have your support?
Well, as long as Taiwan gets support, yeah, sure.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that compelling a little bit to you? Like, while people struggle here in the United States, like we're complicit in the bombing of this place. Like,
Of course, I don't support this shit. I don't even know what I'm saying
Also,
anymore.
people are one issue voters.
True.
that's the thing.
Most people are one issue voters.
Well,
So-
that's why I'm exactly who you're describing when you're saying, what about, because in my mind, and I guess I'm saying it right now, I'm like, what happened with the victims of Epstein in that ring is horrific. But what's going to happen to all the babies who lose access to medical health because of the reduction of funding and services throughout in America and throughout the world is also horrific to me.
Chris,
Right.
everything you're saying is right. I'm
But
not saying-
I guess I don't understand why one resonates so strongly with people and another doesn't.
because you're a Democrat.
Media
And
attention.
You're a Democrat.
I don't know.
I think that you make a great point, by the way.
No, he's
I
a
do think he
Democrat.
makes a great point, and I think it's media attention. And I think if the same media
It's
attention.
not a sex
No,
in the
it's
story.
not media
Right.
attention.
Oh, what is it?
Chris is a Democrat.
Yeah.
You know what Democrats do? They don't listen to what people are actually into.
I'm like, not
They
even
focus
as
on
much
what
as-
they're into.
What they feel.
So fuck if the people are going for Bernie.
Yeah.
No. Let's push Hillary.
Yeah.
No, not Mondani. Let's go. Let's go.
I voted for Bernie.
I know. I'm not talking about you.
I
I'm
know,
saying-
I get it,
You know what I mean?
You're talking about the party.
Right,
the
right,
party
right.
will put whoever they want to put as the candidate,
Yes.
even if the people rebuke it. And
They're right now,
Bro, I know.
In our
It's-
hands,
it's crazy.
Is the Epstein thing that Democrats should never stop talking about. And I'm watching these talking heads on TV that are Democrats saying, "Why do people care about this?" I was like,
Stephen A.
"You
Smith?
fucking- Oh, Stephen A.
Stephen A.
Well, I think some Democrats think it's a trap. I feel that way somehow.
No, but
trap.
that's why
Yeah.
they. But listen to what I said, Chris, earlier.
Because I think I wouldn't put anything past Trump right now. He might release the redacted files, whatever he calls them, which somehow exonerate him. He'll say anything.
So isn't that still good? Like, wait, what you're
No.
saying is, hold on. What you're saying is we shouldn't put pressure on him to release the files.
No,
hold on, because then if he does, he'll get credit for releasing the files. At a certain point in time, you got to put the fucking 1,000 girls that were victimized over your political aspirations.
No, you don't. And let's
Jesus
no.
Christ.
Let me tell you the truth. This is a lie. That lie that they're putting these women over their political aspirations is bullshit, and you know it. All of it is about political aspirations. They're only going to push the Epstein thing if they see the political advantage that it has.
You weren't saying that as you. I just want to
Oh,
clarify.
no,
You
I'm not
weren't
saying that
as
no,
you.
no. I'm saying that as politicians. Politicians don't care about the
They're
girls.
using it for their own political advantage.
And
Yeah.
Chris, I've said this for weeks on this podcast. The future Democrats have to throw the old regime under the bus. We know for a fact in those Epstein files, if there's anybody from the Democratic Party in there, which I'm sure it is, it's all old regime.
Facts.
I guarantee you it's all old regime. Bye. Run them over with a truck. I don't give a fuck who it is. If you're an old regime, you got to go. Therefore, the younger people, like I said earlier, the Ro Khannas, the AOCs, they should be constantly holding on to the Epstein files, constantly bringing it up, and constantly demanding that they get released. And if they get released and it's the old regime in the Democratic Party, fuck them.
Bro put an amendment in Congress, or he announced an amendment. He handed it over to like the committee that allows bills to even go to Congress. I didn't even know that shit existed. So there's a committee, I think, of like 9 Republicans and I think 4 Democrats that decide if a bill can't even be voted on. And the bill was just to release the full Epstein files. And I think 7 of the 9 or like 8 of the 9 Republicans said no to the bill. What are you saying no to? And I understand, there's some names that are in these files, but they might not actually be incriminated with anything. So we should protect their identities so they're not negatively impacted just because they're in the thing without actually doing anything. I get that argument.
Redact the victims, release the client list.
Well, there is no like client list. What I think that you got to do is just, there's a couple things that you got to do.
It's not a client list?
No, there's no like list of all things. So there are a couple things that we could bare minimum do. The reason they were able to try Epstein again is because when he got that sweetheart deal in Florida, right? In order to accept that plea deal, you have to inform the victims of the plea deal. And they never informed the victims, obviously, because if they informed them, they would have fucking went crazy because this was an unbelievable sweetheart deal when you have like, I think 40 victims or all these different people coming forward. So because of that, they were to wipe it clean. So what I say, bare minimum, is just give us all the information of the federal investigation. Remember, this is the feds on him back in 2005. I think it was 2005 to 2008. There was now wiped clean. His amnesty or immunity or whatever it is was wiped clean. Release all that information, bare minimum. Furthermore, anybody who's had business dealings with him after he was considered a registered sex offender, in my opinion, we don't have to redact your name.
You know what you're getting into.
You know, we don't have to redact your name, dude. If you're going to the guy's house after he's a registered sex offender, think about it.
Riding on his plane.
There are people that won't come on a podcast. There are politicians that won't come on a podcast during this last election because they were nervous about being around certain people.
Radioactive.
But to go to a pedophile's fucking house and stay overnight? Get out of here. So bare minimum, release that. And secondarily, you follow the money. You can redact any names you want, but we need to know those bank records. There was a lawsuit, I think, with Deutsche Bank that was banking him and JP Morgan. And I think they had to pay out tens and maybe hundreds of millions. I forget exactly what it was to certain victims. You release that file. We want to know all the business dealings, where the monies are going, which shell companies the money are going to. You'll find everything from the money. Do I think it's like a government formulated blackmail scheme with child sex trafficking? No. Do I think that he was involved in nefarious activities on behalf of multiple governments? Probably. And because of that, they looked the other way on his disgusting and heinous pedophilia that he did for fucking decades. I think they basically saw that and they're like, yeah, but this guy rubs shoulders with all the most wealthy people in the world and all the most influential people in the world. This is a small net group. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our fucking claws in this guy and he's going to tell us anything that we need to know as it goes forward. The internet is probably turned into something else.
I have a slight twist. I've
go,
nothing to base this on.
Yeah.
But just the way the world works. I suspect Epstein was going to do this regardless of any other governments. And I think an opportunistic government caught wind about it and was like, this is the honeypot. Like, we can totally compromise half of the U.S. Now, was it within the U.S.? Was it outside of the U.S.? I don't think we're ever going to know the truth, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that Trump has done, which is very clever, but also very damaging to the country, is already question the authenticity of anything that's going to come out from this point forward. Because he said, well, Obama wrote this report anyway.
Yeah, but you can't say that. Here's the thing.
But he said it. He said it.
The Epstein thing, Chris, was the one thing all of those people on the right were paying attention to the most.
Sure.
They are the ones who amplified this and say these things have to come out. They know this shit better than most, like from top to bottom. They was like, you never said this before about Obama.
Right.
They said, and you can't.
And if Obama wrote it and it was good, they would have released it during Biden because they had the whole thing during Biden. So don't tell me that it's just some, we're going to only put the Republican members of Congress and the Republican politicians in here because Obama wrote it. The Democrats decided not to release any of the information. To me, that shows mutually assured destruction.
Mutually assured destruction. Why are we complicating this?
We throw them under the bus.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, if my dad was on the plane, I don't think he was, but if my dad was on the plane,
Chris,
he got to go.
I've already told y'all, the future of the Democratic Party depends on the people now throwing the old regime under the bus. Ro Khanna, whoever.
I just don't think
you ready?
Clinton has that much juice anymore.
You ready?
Maybe
Watch
I'm
this.
naive.
Watch this. Watch this.
You're very
if the Democrats force Trump's hand, and use Congress to release the Epstein file or information about the Epstein, and there is a release that is done because of Democrats. Trump being completely reluctant to release it, but Democrats
get all the credit for something good. Finally,
hey, if they
why is this so hard?
If they do that, 2028 is them.
Come on,
no, let's go. I don't care who gets caught up.
So they're not going to be able to do it.
But what I'm saying, if you keep on pushing, it's just beginning. You keep on pushing, and you might have to throw some people under the bus. But don't you want to be the party? I mean, you are the party of progress. You are the party that protects women. Don't you want to be the party? If we are disgustingly looking this only through the lens of like political advantage, don't you want to be the party that got justice for 1,000 underage girls that were victimized? Don't you want to be that party?
Listen, people want honesty. People want transparency. If we really just base honesty and transparency in government off like the past 2-3 years,
you're not going to.
There's only like a couple of people you can point to and say, "Oh, that person was right." Dean Phillips was right. Dean Phillips.
What Dean say?
Dean was one of the first people saying, "Yo, Biden is too old to run." He was telling the truth. There's nothing you can say about Trump that people didn't already know.
Yeah.
The Trump has been, depending on what you were listening to, you could hear and see the truth about Donald Trump. The funny thing about the Trump shit, I love when people say, it was right there in Project 2025. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I got gifted Project 2025 probably 2 years ago at this point. That shit is almost 900 pages long. I tried reading some of that shit. I'm like, I don't care that much. So I know most people did not read 900 pages of Project 2025. Stop telling me that this shit was in Project 2025.
I got up to 785 on that.
But Chris, you're an author and a reader.
I'm joking. I didn't read it.
Oh, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Most people saw a meme and they don't even know if the shit that was in the meme was true. So stop saying, "Oh, you saw it in Project 2025, that's what you voted for." No, if you actually watch Fox News and you actually pay attention to what the other side was saying, matter of fact, I did tell y'all why people was voting for Trump. Did I agree with it? No, but I could tell you why he was going to win. I didn't think he was going to win, though.
What?
But he did.
Yeah.
But I understand why he won.
I do think that he's going to release it or release more. Because that's why he's trying to muddy the file now by saying all my enemies wrote the file. So now he has some plausible deniability for that's not the original file that we had. That's what they wrote.
We all know what's going to happen.
Yo,
we all know what's going to happen.
To give into this pressure.
Well, here's the thing, Charlotte.
We know what's going to happen.
Here's the thing. And this is the thing that I don't think Democrats are considering right now. They have an opportunity to put pressure and be part of the release on this. But here's the thing they don't realize. If they spend their time doing "I told you so," right? If they spend their time doing "I told you so" and virtue signaling, and then Trump actually does release it, they're toast. The last thing you want to do is not be part of the release. If Trump releases it, you have to act like you forced his hand. What you can't do is act like you're not interested in releasing it. And then he goes, "You know what? Fuck it, release that shit." And then he's the hero. He does the thing that the bases wanted.
But it's never happened.
And
fair enough.
incriminates himself?
Was that one?
Incriminates himself?
Never happened.
He might be crazy enough to
He might be crazy enough to
He
do
might
it.
be like, I slept with a couple girls.
Dude,
they were all 19.
Honestly, he might. I'm telling you,
He might be crazy
he
enough
might be
to do
crazy enough to do it. And the fact that he does it, they might be crazy enough to forgive him, not for underage girls, but he might be crazy enough to forgive him for like some prostitute shit, as long as he's.
Hey, I was going through a rough period in my marriage.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is, and I mean this sincerely.
No, I've thought about this.
Democrats,
I've thought about this.
If you allow Trump to feed the base exactly what he needs and act like you're the one impeding it, not the one pushing it, you toast.
You know why y'all be
You're toast.
You know why y'all be
Dershowitz tried this already. It's not crazy.
You saw it.
He already did it years ago.
No, but
I was there. I got a massage. I kept my underwear on.
You know why y'all be getting got? Because y'all believe.
What?
Be like me. Be a curmudgeon. I don't believe nothing.
You believe Kamala would win.
I did.
You believe anything.
And that's why
you believe in Bigfoot. You
Dallas-
believe in
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
You know what? You believe too.
Donald Trump is the only thing you don't believe.
You know what Donald Trump is going to do? He's already set the stage. This is the Democrats wrote this. One day we just going to be online and all of a sudden some Epstein files gonna be circulating on social media. And everybody be like, oh shit, they released the Epstein files. They never gonna confirm if it's real or not. And it's gonna be some complete bullshit.
Of course.
It's gonna be some complete, there's gonna be a bunch of dead people on there.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this person, well, he's dead. Oh, this person's dead. Watch, it's this